We still ain't seen the film.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to see that. You do that now, I'll leave early. But it is good to be here this morning, y'all. It really is. This is a message this morning that the Lord laid on my heart, and it took a while. I tell you what, it took a while. Now, I don't know if I was fighting him, but he just wasn't ready to give me something. But it's this one was a little tough to dig into. But it's something that I really want to share with the church today. First of all, before we get started in this morning's message, I would like to ask this. If I were, I'm not asking for anybody to answer right now, but I really want you to think about this. If I were to install a joy meter, inside Loco Baptist Church, what do you think you would read on a scale from 1 to 10? 1 being miserable and 10 being ecstatic. And I tried to spell that word ecstatic, and I just messed it all up. So thank the Lord for spell check, because I don't know what I have up there. 1 being miserable and 10 being ecstatic. Now we're going to talk about this tonight. We're going to ask for real answers tonight. But think about it. On a scale of joy, what does Loco Baptist Church rank on a scale? 1 being miserable to 10 being ecstatic. If we look at this from a biblical standpoint, I want to read some scriptures to y'all this morning. Now, I want to read some scriptures, and I want to see if y'all think the church is here or here or here or whatever. But while we're thinking about the church, I also want you to look at yourself. Look at yourself and see where you're at in all this. I'm going to just ask you to jot these down quickly if you want to, but if you don't even have to do that. But if I would look at the church and say that this was the common attitude of the whole church, Psalm 13:5 says, "As for me, I have trusted in your gracious love. My heart will rejoice in your deliverance." Is that where you are right now? As for me, I have trusted in your gracious love. My heart will rejoice in your deliverance. Is that where Local Baptist Church is right now? Is that the attitude we have? Do we have an attitude of rejoice because of God's deliverance? Psalm 13:5. Isaiah 49:13. See, this is where Local Baptist Church is. "Shout with joy, you heavens, and rock with glee, you earth. Bring out his song, you mountains. The Lord is comforting his people, and will have compassion on his afflicted ones." No, it don't sound like it. It don't sound like that's where we get. You hear what that verse says? Listen to what that verse says. "Shout with joy, you heavens, and rock with glee, you earth. Bring out in song, you mountains. The Lord is comforting his people, and will have compassion on his afflicted ones." How often do we shout for joy? How often do we shout for joy? How about this? Isaiah 61:10. "I will heartily rejoice in the Lord. My soul will delight in my God. For he has wrapped me in garments of salvation. He has arrayed me in a robe of righteousness. Just like a bridegroom, like a priest with a garland, and like a bride adorns herself with her jewels." Is that where we are? Is that where we are as a church? Do we actually look at God and say, "I will heartily rejoice in the Lord. My soul will delight in my God. For he has wrapped me in garments of salvation. He has arrayed me in a robe of righteousness." Just like a bridegroom, like a priest with a garland, and like a bride adorns herself with her jewels. How do we see ourselves? Who are we as Local Baptist Church? The reason I want to ask you all these things is I've got one more verse coming up. But today is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. We have visitors in here today. We have some folks that ain't been here in a while. But just say, for instance, everybody that I see out here this morning, has anybody never been to Local Baptist Church in here this morning? Everybody's been here. Everybody's been here. We don't have not one first-time visitor, okay? Christmas just been a while with you, right? Okay, that's what I'm talking. If we had a visitor in here this morning, and it was the first time they'd ever been here. Say, Tristan, you brought a friend over. Say you brought somebody with you this morning. It's the first time they ever come in here. Say it's the guy you work with or something. He comes in the door and he sees Local Baptist Church. And he knows nothing about church. He's never been around church. He's never been around church folk. He knows nothing about Jesus. He knows nothing about the infinite ability of God in a person's life. He knows none of this. He just comes to church with Tristan. Tristan brings him to church. What does he see when he gets here? Does he see an atmosphere of hope? Does he see an atmosphere of love? Does he see an atmosphere of peace? Does he see an atmosphere of joy? What does he hear when he's walking in the door of the church? Does he hear conversations of glee? Conversations of enjoyment to be in God's house? Let's be real, what does he hear? He hears, I tell you, he hears a lot of people. He has a bunch of griping, complaining, mumbling, and grumbling, and carrying on, like it's the end of the world, like tomorrow will never come, and if it does get here, it's going to be just as bad, if not worse than today. That's a lot of what you hear when you come into church. It ain't just this church, but I'm thinking about local Baptist churches. What are we showing somebody that comes in this church? We talked about Psalm 13:5, Isaiah 49:13. We talked about Isaiah 61. And the last I'm going to read to you is this. Lamentations 5:15. Lamentations 5:15. The joy of our hearts has ceased, and our dancing has turned into dirges. Don't ask me to tell what dirges is. I didn't look it up. I don't think I have to, because looking at the rest of the verse, it ain't very happy. The joy of our hearts has ceased, and our dancing has turned into dirges. I guarantee you by the night, when I get back here tonight, somebody will know what dirges means.
It's morning.
All right, there we go. The joy of our hearts has ceased, and our dancing has turned into mourning. How many of you this morning, when you got up and come to church, would have looked at yourself as having the first verse read, the second verse read, the third verse read, or the fourth verse read? Let me tell you something. If you ain't very careful with your life right now, Satan will have you gripped into that fourth verse. He'll have you right in the middle of that fourth verse. You know why? We let our guard down, that's when he does his best work. The joy of our hearts has ceased. Our dancing has turned into mourning. You know what? That's what I see in local Baptist church. And that hurts. Because that's not only a reflection on us, it's a reflection on me, but it's also a reflection on our relationship with our Savior. Now, am I saying that people are not saved? I'm not saying that. But I'm telling you this right now. When you come into God's house, this is a place of worship. We need to be worshiping Him. We need to be praising Him. We need to be adorning Him with jewels. We need to be acknowledging what He has done for us. The very idea that somebody can come in God's house and sit down and mumble and grumble and carry on and whine and complain about the way that they've had to live their life for the past 5 years, or what's going on in the family, or something about their job, is ridiculous. It's absurd. If you have salvation in your heart, you should never complain about nothing to begin with. But the last place you should complain is in God's house. I want to read something to you. And I don't use my cell phone for doing the Lord's work in this pulpit. I ain't all the electronic gadgets and all that stuff. I don't sit here and do my sermons is a mess and a half. That's what they are. And when I think of something I'm going to say, I write it down in pen. So I really got a mess today. But I want to share something with you. I want to share something what real joy is and what real, true, heartfelt joy is. And you know where real joy only comes from? Real joy only comes from a child. Real joy only comes from a child. Because we have to go back to being like little children in order to be able to enjoy our Savior. Because the very day that we think we grow up in the Lord is the very day that we start losing our joy in Him. Let me read something to you. This comes from, Allie was in a class. And if you don't know, Allie is a teacher of second grade. So how old would they be? How old was second grade? Like 7, something like 7, 8? Yeah. I think I was like 10 in the second grade.
I was a kindergarten.
Scotty was a year ahead. Okay. Okay. Kindergarten. You can't blame it all on how many years with kindergarten, Scotty. If I were 100 years old, it says here, it says, pretend you are 100 years old and draw a picture of what you would look like. Write a story about your life at that age. And this little girl has drawn a picture, and she's drawn a picture of what she would look like. And one thing about it, she got a pair of breeches on, so all y'all that like to wear the dresses up behind them you know, they realize later on in life that they don't lie and the rest is up behind him. But she says this. She says, if I was 100-year-old, I will see Jesus and baby Jesus and God. If I was 100 years old, I would see Jesus and baby Jesus and God. That's what she put. In the book of Psalms 51:12, it says, restore to me the joy of your salvation, and let a willing attitude control me. There is more joy from that seven-year-old child in that one little thing she said that you'll see in most of the churches today. You know why? Because there's a humbleness there that leads to reality. And when we miss that point of how real our salvation is, we lose the joy of our salvation. Now, I looked some numbers up. I'm not going to go off on a big tangent about this, but in the United States, 0.44% of men live to be 100 years old. 0.44%. Now, I've got a pretty good chance, okay, if my wife don't kill me first. I had a great uncle that lived to be 108. I got a granddaddy that lived to be 102. I had an aunt that lived to be 107. My great uncle lived to be 104. I had an aunt that lived to be 107. My grandmother lived to be 95. So I got pretty good gene pool for living a long time. But you know what? I may not make it past the sermon. The gene pool's got nothing to do with it. Your family history has nothing to do with it. There's a lot of people that have a family history of cancer, heart disease, you name it, strokes, terrible strokes, things like that. They come through, they live through their whole life and never have any of it. You know, I had a great-grandmother and a great-grandfather that lived to be 102 and 103 years old. They're Marty and Paul Johnson, that's who they were. One of them had cancer twice in their younger days, and that's back when they didn't know what to do with cancer. They'd go in and cut it out, feed you full of a bunch of stuff so you can come back home. But they lived through it. But yesterday, coming home from taking Becky up there to see Allie, there was this young man, probably no more than 18, 20 years old. A big truck. And that rain ran him off the road. And off the road he went. And he could have just as easily lost his life right now. Young man, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something right now. Do you have enough joy in your salvation right now to be prepared for the day that the Lord gets ready to take you home? You think about that. Do you have that kind of joy? Or are you just a happy person? Come on, that's got to do with attitude. That's not got nothing to do with reality. Some people are just born naturally more happy than others. Marsha will always be more happy than me. It's just the way she's is. That's the way she's geared. She's geared to be more happy than me. There's other people in here that won't never be as happy as I am. Because you're not geared that way. But we are not talking about that. We are talking about David in the book of Psalms saying, Lord, please restore to me the joy of my salvation. That's what he's talking about. I want to ask you something right now. In the book of Psalms again, at 30 and 11, it says this. And this is where we should be as a church. Because I want to explain some things to you. If you go into church and everything in church is all about shouting and all and up in the air and running up and down the pews and all that stuff, then that church as a whole is missing reality. Okay? That church is all about the worship service. It's all about the show, the hands, the throwing and all that. If you go into other churches and you see the straight-laced, the ties on, the dress, the whole 9 yards, the little girls with the dress with the bow in the back, and you know, you got the little boy with the little three-piece suits on and all that, and they all sitting up in church, and nobody else says a word, and bless the Lord, when the preacher tries to make a joke, it's just awful. it's terrible. It's a very strict, very in-line type of service. Well, those people are missing the freedom of worship. They're missing that you can be free in God's house. You can be free to worship like you want to, but you can't go to either extreme. If you go to either extreme, you're missing the point that's in the middle. And that's where Jesus is. Jesus is in the middle of all this. Let me tell you where we should be. Let me tell you where this church should be. Let me tell you where each and every one of us should be. Psalm 30:11 says this: You have turned my mourning into dancing. You took off my sackcloth and clothed me with a garment of joy. That's what David says in the book of Psalms, chapter 30, verse 11. You have turned my mourning into dancing. You took off my sackcloth and clothed me with a garment of joy. Now, I want to ask you a question as we get ready to move into the rest of the service this morning, before we really get down to the nuts and bolts of all this. Who do you want Jesus to find when he comes back? Who do you want Jesus to find when he comes back? Do you want Jesus to come back and find you with your head up or your head down? Now, I'm not talking about head down in prayer either. You want him to find you with the head up or the head down? Do you know that some of us live our lives so dedicated to being miserable that we walk around with our head down so much, and we complain so much, and we gripe so much, and we whine so much, and we're so disattached from the reality of our actual salvation that when Christ comes back, he's going to have to walk up to us and tap us on the shoulder and say, hey, you ready to go home? We're going to miss him coming. We're not even going to realize he's here. Because we've got our heads so far down and so buried in our misery that we're completely missing our own salvation and our own relationship with him. And a lot of people sit here and they say, well, and just whine and just squall and just whine. And let me explain something to you. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a little saying my brother said. This is one of the few that I can use in the pulpit. He told me something one time, I went up there whining and complaining and carrying on about something. He said, I feel for you, I just can't reach you. That's what he said. You know what? I'm sorry that you live your life whining and complaining and misery and never happy about anything. You know what? Ain't nobody's fault but you. Because the salvation Christ has given you is the same salvation he's given me. And let me tell you something. It says that in his word, it tells me that I am now a new creation. So no longer do I have to adhere to the rules and regulations of the life I had before I accepted him as my Savior. And I'll tell you something else that the scripture says. It says that it is no longer I who lives in me, but Christ who lives in me. Well, let me explain something else to you about that. It means you don't have the right to walk around with your head down anymore because you are full of Christ Jesus. And you need to walk around with your head up. And I tell you what makes the biggest difference about all this. If you want to be miserable, that's fine. But don't be miserable in a closet somewhere where ain't nobody got to see you. Because if you walk around with your head all down all the time, and the first thing you do is somebody walks up to you and says, you go to church, say, oh, I'm a member of the church. Don't tell people you're a member here if you walk around with your head down all the time. Tell me a member somewhere else. Don't tell me a member here. Because you know the first thing they're going to say, I'm going to go down. Look how far that head's down. That bottom lip looks like a combine. It's awful. Let me tell you something. If you know Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior, you better get your head up. You better start looking and understand where he wants you to walk so you'll have the day ahead of you. You can look at it. You can face it with something he has given you, and that's joy. Because if you get up every morning and the first thing in your mind is Jesus Christ and what he's done for you, then the rest of that day will be without joy. You'll have none. Let's go back to what we just said. Who do you want Jesus to find? I personally am ready for Christ to come back right now. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Does it mean that every day I have is a good day? No. Sometimes I get discouraged. I can tell you that not. But most of the time what I get discouraged in is other people. Because of other people not understanding how precious their own salvation is. Because of other people that plays with salvation. Because of other people that play with church. Because of other people that I feel like in some way I'm responsible for the way their attitude should be when they go outside here. Well, I've struggled with it for a long time as a pastor, as a young pastor. But let me tell you something. I've got through all that. I am beyond all that. The same Jesus that saved you saved me, and he gave me something that I can live with, and I love it to death, and that's the joy I have in my salvation. If you don't use yours, it's your own fault. When Jesus comes back, who is he going to find? Is he going to find you sitting all mired up somewhere in a hog wallow with your misery and your complaints and your whining and everything? Or is he going to find you walking around with your head held high because you knew one day your Savior's coming to get you, and you know that when he reaches out his hand to take you, he's taking you to a place that'll make you forget about everything you've ever had to deal with on this earth. Why not live life thinking like that instead of living life with your head in a bucket in misery? Restore to me the joy of your salvation. This is during the time right after David had slipped up and he'd seen Bathsheba doing what she was doing on the thing, and then to make a long story short, he made a mess. David had it all going for him, and he let Satan move in right next to him. And Satan used a beautiful woman to bring him down, to bring David down. And you know what? After it was all said and done, David regretted what had happened. And he was in misery, So I'm telling you right now, I'm fixing to come up with a list of things in just a minute, and I want to go over. I want to tell you something. When David says, restore me the joy of your salvation, he wants back what he had. Well, you know what? The same Christ that gave you that salvation to begin with is the same Christ that can restore that salvation back to you. Not that you ever lost it, but be able to live with it daily. I want to share some things with you. We're going to talk about these more tonight. I'm going to read out about 3 or 4 things here. And I want to just kind of key on each one of them before we close this morning. But what are some things that keeps us from having the joy of our salvation? It's a simple question. What are some things that keeps us from having the joy of our salvation? Number 1, and let's see how many there is, so we can go ahead and write your numbers down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, put a star by it, because that's going to be the closing statement. Number 1 is get past your past. Number 1 is get past your past. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you think you were. I don't care how much bad you've done in your past life. Jesus has given you today. And this very day, he's given you the opportunity to confess your sins to him. Ask him for the forgiveness of the sins you've committed in your life. He will save you. He will redeem you. He has bought and paid for you with a price already. You will be taken care of if you will simply turn to him today and say, Lord, I've made a mess of my life. I have done terrible things. There's no way a heathen like me can ever enrich your kingdom. And he'll say, yes, you can. Amen. So you've got to get past what you've done in the past. Now, there's a struggle with that, and I see it in some of the people in this church. I see some of the people in this church struggling with who they were in the past. I see people in this church struggling with some things they've done in the past. I see people in this church that struggle because the past rears its ugly head anytime it wants to. And these people that I'm talking about seem to have no control over it. It could be during a certain sermon or a certain message, or something said at a devotional, or maybe somebody reading something in a book on Wednesday night during Catholic study, or maybe on Sunday night. And there's certain people in this church that switch turns on. Hey, done it. He's done said it again. Brought the past back up. Well, you know what? As long as you don't let go of your past, Satan's got the ability to bring it back up. But the very minute you let it go and say, I am now who God wants me to be, and I need to start living for him, that past will go away. You think it bothers me who I used to be? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I kind of like who I used to be, because I can look back and say that I was way, way away from the Lord. And I can show the miracle he made happen in my life. So that proves to me that I can show you what God can really do if you will just let him. He's done it in me. And you know what? He can do it in you if you will just let him. Some of you may say here, we've talked about this before, about the people that come to church, and you got kids that come to church, and y'all bring them in here when they're like this tall, and you got them coming in here, and they grow up in this church. They never really do anything bad. They never really do anything good. They just kind of in church all their lives. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Because along that type of relationship with church can be a misunderstanding of the relationship as far as salvation. There's a lot of kids in church today that think heaven is just an open door they can walk through whenever the Lord comes to get them. And they don't even know the reality of not having their own salvation. Let me explain something to you about salvation. This is some words I have on my office wall. It says reality is. Salvation is. Or the proof of salvation is the reality of knowing you need it and the peace of knowing you have it. That's what the reality of salvation is. Kids that are brought up in church from the time they knee high to a June bug till they're 20 years old, if you never sit them down and actually hold them accountable for answering the question of, do you know right now if you're going to heaven when you die? If you never hold them accountable to that question, who's at fault? The parent is. And the child. See, that's the thing. The parent can't take the weight of what the child has done. Each child has got to answer for himself. The parent is nothing but a vessel for the Lord to use to reach the child. And you know what? Guess what? It works the other way. There's some parents that don't come to church as much as the children do. So let me explain this to you. The Lord can use the child to reach the parent. It happens. It happens. I look back now and I think about how foolish I was when me and Becky was laid up in bed on Sunday morning sleeping till 10 o'clock because of where we'd been the night before. And bless her heart, Adam would be up at a friend's house already up and gone to church. I look back now and I think about, you idiot. You completely irresponsible buffoon. That's what I was. I was just as full of Satan as it gets. Just as full of him as it gets. God's giving you the opportunity today, parents, to become something in your child's life that you may have never been before. Restore me the joy of my salvation, and let a willing attitude control me. Get past your past. The second thing is this, and this is actually a statement. If y'all ever want to take a picture of me and put it on the wall somewhere in your house, and you want to put like a quote on it, I'll take, 4 feet. 4 feet, of course, I'll let you take my picture. But the thing about it, if you want one of these quotes, you got all these smart folks about all these quotes, I happen to stumble across one. This is actually mine. This is actually mine. So when you take my picture, you put this up on it, and I'll actually sign it for you. A road of guilt leads only to a destination of misery. A road of guilt leads only to a destination of misery. If you cannot get rid of your past, if you can't let your past be the past, then what you're carrying around with you right now is the guilt in your life of who you used to be. And let me tell you something. There is no joy in your salvation as long as you tote guilt from something that God is trying his best to get you to let go of. It's reality, folks. You know what? We all make mistakes. We've all done stupid things. For crying out loud, there's very few people in this church that's done more stupid things than I have in my life. But you know what? I don't tote it around with me. I use it. You know how I use it? I sit here and I tell you, you ain't by yourself when you've done all these stupid things. You ain't by yourself when you said this to that person. You ain't by yourself when you hit that in the mouth when you should have been shutting yours. It's okay. The past is the past. But don't live with the guilt of it. Don't live with the guilt. If you've got past guilt because of something you've done, and you've accepted Christ as your Savior, that guilt is taken away, folks, if you will let Him. If you will let Him. So if a road of guilt leads only to a destination of misery, then how in the world are you going to have joy in your salvation? If you tote around the guilt of your past. Third thing is this. First is get past your past. The second, a road of guilt leads on to a destination of misery. And the third is this, Satan's relentless pursuit of the mundane. Satan's relentless pursuit of the mundane. I'd love to ask the folks and them what they think mundane means. I won't do it because it's Sunday morning. I'm sure I'm going to do it tonight. But let me tell you something. Do you think right now that one of the biggest problems in your life is your past? For some of you, it's not. Some of you actually got through your past. You know what the worst thing in your life right now is? 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, whenever you get up. What does it start? It just starts another day. It's just another day. There's the clock. It's went on. It's time for me to do this. I can tell you down to within a minute of what me and my wife do every morning in my life. I can tell you what time it is on the clock when I'm making her coffee. I can tell you what time it is on the clock when she's making my bed. I can tell you what time it is on the clock when we sit there and I pick up the remote and hit music. I can tell you what time we're up watching news, what time we shut it off. I can tell you what time we get up. I go brush my teeth and brush my hair. And I do all them things. And I can tell you what time she's going to do everything. I can tell you what time I leave out every morning to go to work. I can tell you what time she's leaving to go to work. And I can tell you what I'm going to do when I get to work. I can tell you everything about my day. Where is the joy in that? There is none, because Satan has just entangled himself in all of it, and he's made every day our own misery. Because we live with the same thing every day. That's one of Satan's biggest tools. Did you know that? Did you know alarm clock is one of Satan's biggest tools? How many people in the morning wake up when the alarm clock goes on and says, "Thank you, Jesus"? Think about that. Mr. Bill, I know you're retired now, but you probably didn't wake up with a lot of "Thank you, Jesus" when that clock went off. You had to drive all the way down yonder. No, I don't imagine that happen. Don't you be coming to me sideways night time. I say "Thank you, Jesus" every morning my clock goes off. Don't you be getting all sideways from me.
No, he hits the snooze button.
Hence, another one of Satan's tools, procrastination. We'll talk about that tonight. I might say the next Sunday. Stephen, you've been moving forward in the Lord. You've been moving forward in your relationship with the Lord, and you want to share that. And some of the most needy people in your life right now is the students you teach. But you know, everyone, when you get up, you're bound by the government to have to hold back in some things. That makes it for a tough day. So when that clock goes off, you think to yourself, you may still say "Thank you, Jesus." I hope you do. But the thing of the matter is, you know that you're going to have Satan right in front of you all day long. It makes for a tough day. Now, Marcia never has any problem with her job, so I don't have to worry about that. I don't get Marcia. Hey, same thing the other day. Hey, that makes a difference. Satan's relentless pursuit of the mundane. This is another big one that's used that keeps us from having the joy of our salvation. Living a life of feeling rather than a life of fact. How many of you got up this morning and you felt like you were saved? Now, think about that. Think about that. How many of you got up this morning and actually felt like you were saved? Some of you probably did. But you know what? There's some of you ain't felt salvation in the last 10 years of your life. There's some of you that is absolutely just sitting in misery the last 10 years of your life, and you haven't felt no closer to God than Judas when he got ready to hang himself in the tree. Because you've allowed Satan to come into your life and deal with you in a way that has completely separated you from God. Not in your salvation as far as you being saved and going to heaven. That's not what I'm talking about. But Satan has separated you and the relationship that you have with God. Because of these things that happen. And you know what brings a lot of that on? The simple thing of what I just said. I got this morning, I just didn't feel saved. And you know what I know when I don't feel like I'm saved? After I do that for so long, it starts feeling like a fact. When all reality is, last night when I was saying a prayer about today's message, I was struggling. I said, Lord, I've just been doing some things in my life. I just got stuff going on, and I felt like I've distanced myself from you. I felt like I needed where I'm being in my life. I just got this like a void in my relationship with you. But before I got through with my prayer, I had to acknowledge one thing. I had to acknowledge the fact of no matter how far I felt from God, I was still His child. And let me tell you something. There's some people in this church right now that needs to do just that. The next time you talk to him, you say, look, I might not feel like I'm saved, but because of what you've done for me on Calvary's cross, I know that I am. That's what you need to do. I guarantee you take these few little things and you really pray about them, God can introduce joy back into your life. And there are people in this church now that need it. There's a lot of people in this church that need it. There's a lot of people that need to invite joy of their salvation back into their life. I'm going to close with this. If you look back at the verse, I've always read this Psalm 51:12 in a certain way. It's always David pleading out to God, restore to me the joy of your salvation. And you've heard the preachers say it. Connie, I bet you and Jill have heard it in other churches. I bet you've heard it said in other churches by a lot of pastors. And they talk about this joy of salvation, and they got these messages on joy of salvation. But you know what? You're only halfway through the verse. Do you know this verse has a B-side too? Check out what the B-side says. Restore in the joy of your salvation. And then what does it say? And let a willing attitude control me. Well then, that just changes everything. You know why? Because this takes all the pressure off God from trying to force his joy of his salvation into us, to us having to do something about it. Well, check this out. I'm going to close with a statement. The amount of joy is based off of the amount of willingness. How about that? Is that not as comfortable as Cuthbert preaches? That is not very comfortable. Y'all don't even know what Cuthbert is. Raise your hand if you know what Cuthbert is. What? Oh, 15% of the whole church knows what Cuthbert is.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Cuthbert preaches. How comfortable would them be? That's about the B-side of this verse. The B-side of this verse says, and let a willing attitude control me. We're going to talk about that willing attitude tonight. We're going to talk about a willing attitude tonight. We're going to talk about what it means in this verse when it says, restore me the joy of your salvation. God, you do something to me. But then he turns around and says, I got to do something for you. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. See, the same ones that sit here in misery with their head in a bucket of misery all the time is the same ones that are unwilling to let the Lord use them in a certain way. And the more you do that, the more miserable you're going to be. The more you push him off from using you, the more miserable you're going to be. Do you think, one more, do you honestly believe in your heart that right now, since you heard this message today, you go home tonight and you say, Lord, just restore the joy in my salvation. Restore me the joy of my salvation. Do you think you're always going to get up in the morning and everything in your life is going to be peaches and cream? It sure ain't. It ain't about to. You know why? A life of joy is based off of dedication to God. A life of joy is based off of our willingness to be who he wants us to be. And the more we complain about what we don't have, and the more we complain about how we feel, and the more we complain about, I just wish it was all in tomorrow, is the very ones that are concentrating more on complaining than they are being willing to let God use them in something. Now, we can talk about many, many ways of being willing to let God use you, but sometimes all it needs is a kind word. Do you realize that sometimes a Christian can be known as a Christian just by simply saying a kind word? You know that sometimes that's all somebody needs in their life is just to hear a kind word. Scripture says, we know not when we will entertain angels. Do you realize that sometimes in your life, you may have snapped at an angel that God has set before you, instead of showing a kind word, showing a little love, showing a little compassion? Because in that is where the relationship of joy actually starts. Don't just think you're going to pray a little prayer tonight and get up in the morning and have joy. It don't work like that. You know when blessings come when we're obedient to God. That's when blessings start. If you've never been obedient, you don't know what a blessing is. You just live in a life of convenience. That's all you do. So I ask you today, I'm going to ask the one of you in here that know him, when's the last time you've had actual joy in your salvation? And I'm going to ask the one of you in here that don't know if you know him or not, have you ever had joy in your life? Because if you hadn't, it means you don't know him. And I pray that you come to know him today. Let's pray.